Hey all, it's TrainerOblivio checking in with a brand new Pokemon Challenge video. I'm so happy to be able to revisit this series now that I have a little more time, and also just to be able to bring you guys more content in general. Holy crud guys, a lot has happened since we were last on this Pokemon Challenge series. We finally got the Diamond and Pearl remakes we had been asking for, and we got a slew of other cool news ranging from new Pokemon Slap into a new look of the old Pokemon world with a new spin-off title, Pokemon Legends Arceus. Well, with all of that news and excitement, I thought I would share some of that excitement and celebrate by making a Gen 4 challenge video. I want to explain how these challenge videos will go again, since it's been a couple of months since my last challenge video. I will choose a Pokemon, or a set of rules, or a combination of the two which will set a challenge for myself. I must adhere to these rules no matter what, because to the contrary, I will fail the challenge. Simple enough, right? I had made a poll on my Twitter a little while back with you guys, and you guys voted. So in this video, we will see if I can beat Pokemon Platinum with just a single Skuntank. As we take a look at this Pokemon's stats, there's not really anything worth noting. Its stats are definitely not conventional. Huge health hopefully means we can tank a couple of hits, and a decent attack stat is something we can work with. What is worth mentioning though is its expansive move pool. It is certainly going to be useful. Let's go over the rules and boundaries set up for this playthrough. Alrighty, so for this playthrough of Platinum, we're going to be doing the following. I'm only going to be able to use a single Skuntank in battle. I cannot use any other Pokemon in battle, and I may only use other Pokemon as HM slaves for story progression. I cannot use aid from cheats, save states, codes, or items in this playthrough. Items outside of battle and held items are okay. I must get to the ending of the video game in order to consider the challenge beaten, meaning I must defeat the Elite Four and become the new champion. I am certainly not looking forward to Cynthia's Garchomp. Alrighty boys, let's start up a new adventure in Sinnoh where we take our skunk and see just how smelly we can get. We start off the game as we usually would. We pick our character, we pick our name, swap around our options, and embark on our journey starting from Twinleaf Town. We are immediately introduced to our rival Barry. Barry is an interesting rival. In my opinion, he was the last real quote-unquote challenging rival. He picked the starter to counter your starter. He was a little rash and very confident, and throughout the game, and towards the end especially, his team is quite powerful. All this aside though, we go through the intro nonsense, meet Professor Rowan and Dawn, and receive our starter Pokemon. We use the Universal Pokemon Randomizer to replace Piplup with Stunky. No real reason to choose Piplup besides he's the starter that I chose originally in my first adventure through Sinnoh. Piplup gang, where ya at? Represent. And now that I think about it, Torterra would be the one starter that actually poses a threat. Its Earthquake is super effective against us, whereas the other two starters only provide neutral damage. Anywho, we begin the rival match. Nothing outside of the norm, however. The AI picks Withdrawal like no tomorrow, and since we have Poison Gas and Focus Energy, we can bypass the defense boosts and get a pretty easy win. Let's take a look at our new partner Stunky. It has a naughty nature, which provides more of attack at the cost of its worst stat, Special Defense. I hope that doesn't bite us in the end. As for its ability, we have... Oh.
Are you okay?
Ow, ow,
I'm
ow.
so sorry.
You really clocked me there. You want bleeding?
Oh.
Ow, ow,
Dory, are you okay?
Oh, that's good.
We have Stench, baby. Or at least that's what I would say if we were not in Gen 4. For those who do not know, Stench is one of my favorite abilities. It has an overworld ability to reduce wild encounters by 50%, but in battle it has the potential to flinch an opponent with an attack at a rate of 10%, similar to a King's Rock. But unfortunately for us, that effect did not begin to happen for the ability till Generation 5, and it is more of a hindrance in these one Pokemon only challenge runs because we need to grind out a lot of sections to be strong enough to take on the challenge, and with 50% less wild encounters, we are effectively making this challenge twice as hard, or at least twice as lengthy anyways. We reach Professor Rowan's lab, and he allows us to nickname our Pokemon. Well, I know someone who is deeply fond of my Stench King's Rock strategy, so we go ahead and name our Stunky after our very own channel champion, Acevedo. After a good bit of our intro crap, we finally get ourselves some Pokeballs and we are able to catch our first HM Doof. Yes, I said first. Just wait and see. We quickly move past the first couple of trainers and Jubilife City itself. In Jubilife City, we meet an enigmatic character that would become the focus of this game and every other post-game after this one. Looker, the renowned international police agent. It was sad to not see Looker in Galar, but he was not the only one to not make the cut, I suppose. After a little bit of training around the city, we find ourselves in our second rival match with Barry. Nothing else to say other than he added a very useful Starly to his team, but it was a low level and posed no real threat, and Turtwig once again went trigger happy on withdraw, so after a bit we take the victory. We move on, all the while I am thinking about our first roadblock. The first gym leader, Rourke. His team is comprised of only rock-type Pokemon, and at this starting level with Stunky, it has no real good moves or even any stab moves. I have devised a strategy where hopefully poison damage plus Fury Swipes flinch would carry, but those hopes were dashed when I remembered that Stench was kinda bad in this generation. So I was searching real hard for another strategy, and then we happened upon this kind gentleman at the Orberg Gate. He gives us the HM for Rock Smash. We had originally set off to dump all of our HM moves to our HM Doofs since there are so many in this generation, and I do not like to put them on our Mons we use during the challenge. But we have a failsafe now. We arrive in this generation's Funky Town. I mean, seriously, this music slaps, and it is one of many soundtracks in this generation that I am happy not only to revisit, but I am super stoked to hear the remixes of and the remakes of Generation 4. Once in Orberg, we get straight to business. We train Stunky as much as possible with the mixture of encounters, the mine, and the gym trainers. This is what we are looking like before our first gym fight. Not too bad, and hopefully over-leveled enough to where this will not be an issue. We start the battle with my original strategy, but quickly learn that it is a no-go. We attempt this strategy a total of 5 times before we have to face the fact that without hard-hitting moves, we simply do not have the flinches or the health to extend our longevity enough to set up to get through this fight. Most times once we get to Onyx, it's a death sentence, and our worst luck was when we lost to Geodude. We had to swallow our pride on this one and just teach Stunky the HM for Rock Smash. And it was a wash. We beat the gym on our first try after that by simply brute forcing our way through. So Old Reliable still works in the end. We start by making our way back to Jubilife City. Here we are introduced to the villainous team of the game, Team Galactic. They attempt to ambush the Professor and Dawn, but are easily dispatched after we show up. From here, we give chase to them and we get to Floaroma Town. Nothing to say here other than this picturesque town houses the flower shop, during which an event for Shaman back for event 4 you were able to receive the Gracidia flower here, which allows Shaman to go from its land form to its sky form. Past here, however, we are able to go to the Valley Wind Works where we are blocked to the north by Team Galactic and find out that this child's father is being held against their will. So being the hero that we are, we completely abandon them. Now we save them. We take out the grunt at the entrance, which rudely locks himself in the Windworks, leaving us out. So we go back to the Flower Town to beat up another pair of grunts that give us the key to access the Valley Windworks. After this, we storm it and happen upon one of Mrs.'s favorite characters in the game, Commander Mars. She challenges us to a fight which we can eke out a small victory from due to the power that her fully evolved Perugly possesses this early in the game. We also meet Sharon, the scientist, but much like his fellow commanders, no one really cares about him, so moving on. So I'm going to take the time now to go ahead and say that I can go on about these games into serious detail because it is what I am most passionate about. However, that would take hours to record and you guys probably wouldn't like that. Or if you would, let me know in the comment section below, or in the YouTube video discussion section of my Discord. The link's in the description below. But since I want to keep to my goal of these videos getting done in about 30 minutes or less, let's press on. We managed to get through Eterna Forest and to the other side of Eterna City where the famous legendary Pokemon statue is. We defeat Gardania pretty soundly and meet the Sinnoh champion, Cynthia. She gives us the HM for cut, which allows us into the Galactic building in order for us to storm them yet again. At the top of the building, we find yet another one of Mrs.'s favorite characters in Sinnoh, Commander Jupiter and her Skuntank. The true inspiration behind this video. After defeating her and saving the bike shop owner, he thanks us by giving us a free bike. We use it to get through the cycling road and meet up with Dawn on the other side. Here she gives us one of the most valuable and one of my favorite games in all of Pokemon, the Versus Seeker. With this key item, you are able to rematch trainers you have already previously fought, and it recharges after only 100 steps. It is a super good tool for grinding up your levels and easy to use that will likely prove useful in this challenge run. Whilst on our journey to the next gym badge, we managed to evolve Stunky into Skuntank right before entering Mount Coronet. We get through a small section of Mount Coronet, cool name by the way, and on the other side we find a wild Bibarel. We take advantage of this and call him HM Doof 2.0. We find ourselves in Hearth Home City. For some odd reason, whenever I played these games when I was younger, I would always pronounce it Hearth Rome City. And when I was older, I reread the text and I was like, oh, I'm dumb. Oh well. Here we managed to get the badge from Fantina, the ghost-type gym leader, and proceed to the next part of the journey. We embark east and go on a pretty long exploring trip that takes us to Solacean Town and the Solacean Ruins. Just outside of the tower, we catch our flying-type user, a Staravia. We call her our Fly Girl. Then we head towards Route 210 and 215 before finally reaching Veilstone City. Here we are met yet again with Dawn right outside of the gym, which is where we meet the next gym leader in our challenge run, Crasher Wake. Once inside the gym, we defeat Maylene and get the badge. We leave to find out that Dawn's Pokédex was stolen, so we team up with her yet again to defeat some more Team Galactic. After this, we can quickly head south to reach Pastoria City. While we make the trek, I have to say that the minigame of this challenge has been a breeze. I did not even have to heal for the last 3 badges, I just went straight for the fight and won. I am hoping that this luck carries over into the late game, but I am sure we will hit a brick wall at one point. When we reach Pastoria, we waste no time. We get straight into the rival match with Barry. It's a total wash, and the subsequent gym fight with Crasher Wake was also. Skuntank's power plus being so overleveled is such a blessing because we are destroying this section of the game. Once we get outside, the plot furthers. Team Galactic goes full terrorist organization and bombs the nature reserve in Pastoria. While the gym leader and Barry hang back to investigate the damage done, we are tasked with chasing the Galactic Grunt down. After wearing out right past the resort in the Lake Valor front, we defeat them. Here we meet with Cynthia yet again, and she gives us a secret potion. This allows us to get rid of my favorite roadblock ever, a bunch of side ducks just chillin' because of their intense headache. We then get access to the northern part of Route 210 and we find ourselves in Celestic Town, a quiet little mountain town where Cynthia's grandma lives. After we meet her here, we are able to learn some more of the Sinnoh lore, only to be challenged by the galactic leader himself, Cyrus. The battle with him is really easy though, since he has mostly lower level unevolved Pokemon. After this, we proceed to fly back to Jubilife and head west to reach Canalave City. It is an interesting little port town where we get into another rival battle. It was once again very one-sided and not any real challenge. Right after, we skip through Iron Island and get through it very quickly before we enter the Canalave City gym. Here we completely melt everything with Flamethrower and obtain the gym badge. Holy crap, Skuntank is pretty unstoppable. After the fight in Canalave City, we meet up with the whole crew and discuss more about the lore of Sinnoh, and are tasked with visiting the 3 lakes where the Lake Trio legendaries reside. Which, by the way, this has to be the peak of legendary themes. It is so good that I actually went out of my way just to vibe in the Lake Trio theme, and I actually caught Yuxi without trying. I cannot wait to see what their themes sound like remade. Please, I beg of you, do not ruin this. But anyways, there is an explosion and we have to go investigate, so we immediately fly to Lake Valor to see a pretty sad sight. These poor Magikarp didn't know what hit them. Anyways, we body all of Team Galactic and reach another commander in the center, Saturn. We sweep his team and have no real issues, but what else is new? From here we proceed to cleaning up everyone else's mess, even though we were supposed to divide and conquer, but whatever. We defeat Mars and then we have to track down the last of us, which is Barry. But he went towards a new city called Snow Point. So we embark east of Eterna City, then head up Mount Coronet to Route 216. Guys, this is the best route theme, no cap, and there are no arguments to the contrary. This theme has to be my absolute favorite in all the Pokemon games. The memories I have of finding Snover for the first time and adding it to the team, grinding it out till it became an Abomasnow, the ambience provided by the music during the night and day, and the terrain and challenge that this section of the game provides is the best in my opinion. Hilariously, I end my recording as soon as I make it here and I save the game and leave it for later. Later just so happened to be on my stream when I had some spare time. Thank you guys for your love over on Twitch, by the way. The link is in the description below. If you guys want to hang out with me over there, I am able to luckily write this part of the script almost directly from the stream, so this makes my job significantly easier. We get through the blizzard and manage to make our way to Snow Point City. Here we defeat Candace and obtain the 7th gym badge. Once this is done, we find ourselves with Jupiter and Barry, who just took a fat L. I say this because apparently us whooping him from the start of the journey all over the Sinnoh region isn't enough, but when he loses to Jupiter he has a whole story arc. Okay. After making our way back to Veilstone as per Jupiter's request, we infiltrate the best freaking evil base theme ever, yo. Seriously, this generation has some bangers. I really hope that the remakes do these themes justice. We quickly dismantle the whole operation and go to Cyrus's little powwow before we find him in the back and obliterate his team. After the fight, we have to go to the lab to beat Saturn once more before letting the Lake Trio go after they used them to make the red chain. We then give chase to the Team Galactic leader for the final push of this game, which leads us to the game's climax. We make our way to the peak of Mount Coronet, where we are greeted to another wonderful theme befitting of the build-up to this game's summit. This challenge should just be the vibe video at this point. We get through the snow and make it to the Spear Pillar. Here we have to face the last of Team Galactic, 2 grunts, 2 commanders, and another fight with Cyrus. Needless to say, Skuntank easily gets through all these fights, and here we are treated to some of the coolest visuals of the game and one of the few cutscenes that it has. Giratina opens the portal to the Distortion World and we give chase so that we can save Cyrus. So we get through the Distortion World, which is super intricate and cool. Very well done to the DS graphics and to use its power to its full potential here. Kudos to the devs. At the end of the Distortion World, we find Cyrus waiting for us and we engage in a final battle. So hilariously, we got way too cocky with Skuntank, breezing his way through the game, and I forgot to save. So we have this little mishap.
Though, like I told you on the other guy's 6 fucking months ago.
Hey, we got a fat crib, but the burn killed me, so. Well, that there's the end of the stream, and the end of this run. Back up and do this again. And our channel champion Acevedo comes through with the fat save. Guys, this was huge, and yes, technically cheating, but it was such a huge meme that I could not pass up the opportunity. Also, if you really want to get technical about it, all it did was save me 30 minutes of game time because I would have to get all the way through the distortion world again. So either way, the end result would have been the same. With that, however, we defeat Cyrus and continue the run. We capture Giratina, the Lord of the Distortion World, and leave with Cynthia. From here, we are entering the final act of the game. Finally, Team Galactic is no more and we are able to move past the roadblock to the east of the resort to Route 222. We are super close to ending the game, so we breeze past all the trainers in the route and we are severely overleveled, so we leave a couple of areas and trainers behind to come back to if we need to later. And oh boy, do we ever. It is worth mentioning that we ran into the Pokemon Company headquarters along the way. After reaching Sunny Shore City at the end of Route 22, we meet one of the Sinnoh's Elite Four, Flint. He is close friends with the gym leader of Sunny Shore City, Volkner, and knows that his friend is in a slump right now. Upon meeting us, he recognizes our power and asks us to have a battle with his buddy to reignite his passion. So we take him up on that offer and head to find the gym leader so we can actually challenge him, since he is not at the gym at the moment. We find him in the lighthouse and convince him to fight us, and surprise surprise, it was a total wash. After obtaining the badge, we head to the north of Sunny Shore where Jasmine from Johto region is sitting on the beach. She is kind enough to give us the final HM for our HM Doof, Waterfall. After we teach him the new move, we embark. We skipped most of the trainers on Route 223 and reached the Victory Road, the final test before the Elite Four and the Champion and the end of this run. Okay, so I know the layout of this Victory Road very well after many years of playing this game, but I have to say, this is the worst Victory Road ever. When I first played this game, I got lost so many times, and everywhere you turn you had to use a different freaking HM move. It literally requires one of your team members to be relegated to only having HM moves, and it's terrible. Anyways, with that rant out of my system, we now have made it to the Elite Four. We have made it to the end of this game and Skuntank has done phenomenally. We have very little resistance to the game's challenges, save for Work in the very beginning, but I know that the challenge really begins here. Right before we enter though, we have our final rival match with Barry. He leads with Staraptor, which annoyingly intimidates us. Intimidate is a death sentence sometimes on these only one Pokemon runs, because that drop in attack can make a huge difference when facing a full team of Pokemon in succession. However, we drop it with a single Sludge Bomb, and next, Torterra is out. We use Flamethrower to take care of it with the crit, and next is Snorlax. He tanks the Night Slash, and we eat up the following Earthquake. Another Night Slash does the trick, and we are on to Heracross. It is easily dispatched with one Flamethrower. Floatzel barely hangs on after a Night Slash, and the following return puts it down. Rapidash is his final Pokemon, but after a well-placed Sludge Bomb and a critical, we finally beat the final rival battle. And after this comes the fun. Alrighty, so here we are about to enter the Elite Four, and this is what Skuntank is looking like. Its stats are not too bad, and I think it's a decent enough level to get through the fights, and we attach the Razor Claw for extra critical hit luck. Alright, let's get to it then. We start on the Elite Four with Aaron, the Bug-type specialist. Skuntank completely mows through the team. 5 Flamethrowers later, and they're toast. So it would seem our luck is carrying over to... Just kidding. I thought that Cynthia was going to be the wall that we would encounter here in the Elite Four, but I was wrong. It is in fact Bertha. I'm not even going to go through and delve into the amount of pain that this woman made me feel. I attempted this battle a total of 11 times before I decided I needed to swallow my pride and get another strategy and grind some more, because even on our luckiest attempt, we barely managed to get to the Golem, which is the 4th of her 5 Mons. So I leave and go back to all of the areas that I had yet to train in, such as Mr. Backlot's mansion and some of the sea routes that we skipped. After some more grinding in the Victory Road, this is what Skuntank is looking like now. I have rounded up all the rare candies that I have been able to collect, as I probably will need to use them for an extra boost, because at this point I have been recording for hours and I still cannot get past the brick wall that is Bertha. Okay, Elite Four round 2, and we breeze right past Aaron again, then Bertha. I attempt this battle another 9 times, and the furthest we got was getting destroyed by Rhyperior's Earthquake after it hung on from a sliver of health. The frustrating part is that Skuntank can really take a couple of earthquakes, but a pound down stand stream whittles away at Skuntank's health every turn, and between that and the full restore spam from the other side of the field, we do not have the longevity required. I'm coming up short every time and I'm running out of options. Then I get a call from our channel champion and he enlightens me with some forgotten knowledge. Skuntank can learn Iron Tail. I completely forgot. I proceed to take another L and leave the Elite Four with my ass handed to me yet again. Then I thoroughly go through Iron Island and explore to find the TM for Iron Tail. After obtaining this and a couple of levels from the exploration, we top it off with the rare candies to enter the fight. So listen, I would need some serious luck, but hear me out, after losing so many times, I was able to strategize the whole fight. In order for me to win, I would need to knock out Whiscash, get a lucky critical hit on Hippowdon or stupid AI input from Bertha, another lucky crit on Gliscor, one-shot Golem with a 75% accurate Iron Tail, and get a critical Iron Tail on Rhyperior to finish the match. Oh boy. Now, let's make that happen. After 13 awful attempts and being level 92 with some serious luck, we barely eke out a victory. But we did it. After 32 failed attempts of this fight, we managed to win on attempt 33. Wow, that was painful. I do not think I have ever had to repeat a fight so many times in the history of me playing Pokemon. Oh well, that was all good because it makes me savor the absolute domination of the remainder of the Elite Four. We completely sweep both Flit and Lucian, so there's not much to say, and now on to the final battle of the game, Cynthia. So all I can really do is brute force my way through this match, but I know that Garchomp will be a thorn in my side if I do not get a lucky critical or something. Oh, okay, I'll take it. I guess the game had seen me suffer enough because the only threat that Cynthia had, albeit a very scary threat, went down to a critical Night Slash. After it went down, there was absolutely nothing that stood in the way of our victory. We got brought down pretty low because of the back and forth, and since all of her mons are pretty strong, but we overpowered her in the end and won. Holy crap, Bertha, are we good? Oh my god, that was one heck of a run, and I am super happy to bring that to you guys. It was so much fun to make, and it was a nice challenge. I definitely did not think that Bertha would destroy us like that, but in the end, we won. Thank you guys so much for all of the love and all of the support that you guys give me across all of my platforms. I really appreciate it. You guys have no idea. I have been reading the comments and we are going to listen to Spooky's suggestion for the next Pokemon challenge. And the next Pokemon challenge we'll be doing is Pokemon Shield with only a single Snom. I have a feeling we won't be liking this one very much. At any rate, guys, thank you so much. I hope you guys enjoyed that video, and you guys have been incredible. TrainerOblivio, checking out.